All right, Gene. Are you ready to be counted in?
Let's go, Gene.
Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You heard it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at?
Oh.
Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
All right. With me today is your favorite, my favorite, LeeAnn Kreischer.
Yep.
Oh.
Clean as far as I know.
So are we? We took the antibody test and we're negative. Clean. And we couldn't be more thrilled to be getting out of our houses and away from our husbands and children to do the show today.
So true.
What are you going through right now? I can only imagine.
You know, the good thing about now is that we're quarantined. Like, there's something we can do. So for whatever reason, for the most part, that's giving Bert's OCD, like, comfort.
Yeah.
Like, we're not leaving the house. I mean, like, nobody's leaving.
Yeah.
Nobody's going anywhere except for me. I go to the grocery store, and I'm literally like hazmat suit to go to the grocery store. So for whatever reason, that's making him feel better.
That there's something you can do.
Yes.
You can stay home. Is he cooking obsessively? I was cooking obsessively for the first week or so.
I don't know that he's cooking obsessively. You know, this has been really an interesting experiment in our marriage, I think.
I think in everybody's.
I think in everybody's, yeah, right? I think so.
People listening are like, girl. The divorce rate is definitely going to be.
It's going to be crazy.
Okay, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No. I'm amazed at how much we are enjoying each other.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens for me is when he's home and I go, oh, okay, he's leaving on Thursday. I have this like TikTok.
Yeah.
I just got to make it till Thursday, but there's no out here. So I have to manage myself. You know what I mean?
I do. Because sometimes when Tom is home and he's like touring though, and he'll say something annoying and I'll be like, when do you leave again?
Exactly.
When do you go? When's that suitcase going to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. I know. Because you're like, I just need to be by myself. Well, that's not coming.
No
time soon. So I think it's made me kind of like manage myself a little differently. I had one day where I was like, fuck every person here.
Yeah.
I hate all of you. And I'm going to sit in the front yard for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. No one talk to me.
Yes.
But only one day.
And how long did you get to sit in the yard before? Mama, mommy, LeeAnn, where's the spatulas? Where's the cook? Yeah.
I don't have the mommy anymore.
Okay.
They avoid me like the plague. No
pun
I
intended.
Can't. They do. They avoid me like the plague.
Right.
Because I prefer the quarantine.
Yeah. My kids are at the age where I literally can't go take a dump without my baby.
I know.
Like,
I saw that.
Mommy. Oh, I was taking a shit and the baby was on my lap. The toddler put an orange in my face. And then the baby plays with the buttons on the toilet and the dog. It's misery. It's misery. But go ahead. So you're enjoying him because you're kind of forcing yourself. Oh, here, Nadav, there I am. It's up there. It's in the middle. See the orange? Right? I look like shit under the Cool Mom shirt.
It's so funny.
Which, by the way, the Cool Mom shirt is now back in stores due to popular demand. People have been asking me to restock it. All the Cool Mom shirts are back in all sizes. There I am. This is me when I just woke up. I have my sweet little baby, Julian, sitting on my lap. I'm literally, a turd is coming out of my butt as I'm taking this picture. And then my older boy is shoving an orange in my face. And then he threw it in the toilet. It's terrible. Oh, look, there's Ali Wong with, and in true mom fashion, there's Ali Wong commenting on it with the praise Allah sign.
You look happy.
Yeah, I look healthy. I look good.
Yeah, you look blissful.
Look rested.
Yeah,
like motherhood is a wonderful journey all the time.
It's very enlightening, motherhood, isn't it? Really makes everything lighter, easier.
Sometimes I love them and sometimes I don't want to be around them. So you took a 6-hour lawn vacation.
It wasn't 6 hours. I probably made it for 2 before somebody. A friend of mine, her husband disappeared one day. She couldn't find him. He'd spent 5 hours in his car in the driveway. He just went in the car in the driveway and was like, fuck all you people. He's living with 3 women and went in his car for 5 hours straight. I was like, what did you do? He said, I took a nap. I watched some stuff on Netflix on my phone. I just need to get out of the house. By the way, they live in like a 5-bedroom enormous house where he could have just gone into a room and closed the door. Yeah. But he wanted like his own space where no one. Yeah,
because you still hear the crying and the screaming and the yelling and the. Yes, I don't know what's worse at this point: quarantining alone in isolation or quarantining with your children. Now you have a different hell. My hell is the younger children.
You have the real hell.
I have a 21-month-old and a 4-year-old, and the 4-year-old's a vacation compared to the 21-month-old who is at that stage where. No toys, doesn't give a shit about toys, doesn't want to watch movies yet, just wants to destroy the house. It is that a toilet brush? Let me touch that with my hands. Let me put that in my mouth. Are those spices? Let me open them and dump them on the floor. Is that glass? Can I touch it? So it's literally like, I just don't kill yourself all day. And then the 4-year-old, he has his moments. But anyway, I digress. You're homeschooling teenagers, which is like... It's not BS. Like my homeschooling of preschool is like, you guys are going to color today and learn what a penny is.
No, this is terrible.
What are you doing?
It's terrible. Georgia's high school is amazing. I just check in with her at 8 and she goes, I have a class at 9, I have one at 11, one at 2. And she's got it. I don't even.
And they do it on the
her.
Zoom or whatever. The teacher shows up and does the full class.
Yep. Yeah. It's all great. It's just like she's in school. She's there from 8 to 3.
Great.
She has homework. It's like nothing's changed except she just doesn't leave.
Love it.
It's amazing.
And all schools should be that way. I don't know why.
Agreed.
They're not.
But my youngest daughter, who I know everybody knows is dyslexic, and she has something called a processing delay. So, like, if you say, "Hey, what's 10 times 10?" she goes.
I think Tom has that too.
100? But it takes that long. You're like, dude, it's 10. You just add a 0 on the end. It's not hard.
Just count the zeros.
It's easy. Yeah. But it's a process, a delay, right? Yeah. She just has this little delay. So LAUSD, if anybody has a different experience than me, Godspeed. But for me, this has been a disaster. Like every teacher is using a different portal, is using a different modality of teaching. Somebody's on Google, somebody's on Schoology, somebody's on Zoom. I mean, I had to, like the 3rd week, make a spreadsheet for her for what teacher taught through what modality and what was due. And it was so overwhelming, I couldn't keep up with it. And I'm 50, All right. And on top of that, like the history teacher is like, read page 209 to 213, answer these 4 questions and write a 2-paragraph essay, right? Are you kidding? It's about the Constitution. Do you think what 13-year-old goes, oh boy, can't wait to read my textbook about the Constitution?
Juicy. None. Yeah. Well, do you know that Constitution law is considered the most difficult class in law school?
Is
if you become a con law professor, you're considered one of the most elite intellectual minds.
What?
Yeah. It's really hard. The Constitution is not easy for an adult.
I feel so elite.
Yeah.
Because I just taught the first 3 articles of the Constitution to my daughter, and it was not easy.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's really hard, and I'm not a teacher.
No, I know you're not qualified.
I mean, not even close, and that's just one subject. Like math, I'm like, what is an integer?
Oh, well, fuck off.
I don't remember what an integer is.
Listen, bro, here's what you got to know. They should be teaching you how to change your tire, how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
Fractions are important.
Yeah.
Percentages for tipping.
Totally.
At addition, subtraction, that should be the math, period.
Totally.
Done. That's all you need to do. You go out to dinner, you do your taxes, you leave a tip.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally.
Anything else is superfluous.
If you're splitting up a cheesecake, you need percentages.
Thank you.
I get 25% of that.
That's right.
So, yeah.
A baking recipe, you need to know that. Basic math.
Yeah.
Algebra 2, I never even got past. I've never needed it in my life. Geometry is pretty logical, but anyways, the point is you're teaching them real stuff.
That I'm not qualified to teach.
Right. That's what gets me about people that want to homeschool. The arrogance of people. By the way, and I'm not saying that not everybody isn't. There's some people that are qualified to homeschool. teachers.
Totally.
My cousin Shadi was a teacher, and she's like, I want to homeschool my kids. Yeah, you're
Go for it.
qualified.
Totally.
But you know how hard it is to homeschool?
No, I do. Actually, I do now. I just didn't create the curriculum. I'm just executing it, and it's been awful.
It is awful.
It's awful. I mean, I thought the last week, there's going to be blood.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be mine. It's going to be LeeAnn Kreischer's blood. It's going to be all over this dining room table because I'm going to kill her before this week's over.
How did teachers do it?
I don't know.
How do they do like 20 or 25 of those LeeAnn Kreischers? Like,
I
how
don't
the
know.
fuck is...
1 in 5 kids have dyslexia, not just the other learning disabilities that are out there. Just dyslexia specifically, 1 in 5 have that specific learning disability. I don't know how teachers do it. They are saints. We should double all their pay. Except I feel this way about it, right? This homeschooling that's happening now could have been the disastrous that I am experiencing, could have been prevented if the teachers that are teaching my daughter had complied with getting up and running on this portal called Schoology 2 years ago when it was put in place. And they pretty much just use it as a grade book and not a teaching tool. So they just post grades on it. It's supposed to be a portal in which you learn, but the teachers were like, I don't like it. I don't want to learn that. We're going to keep teaching old school, and I'll just put the grade book in. Well, now we're here where they don't know how to use that.
Yeah, and it's fakakta. It's the whole system.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if you'd just done the work 2 years ago, not only would your life be easier, so would Isla's, because we had to learn how to use this platform from like, hey, we're in school, and now tomorrow we're not.
So
no
annoying.
Training. Her login didn't even work. It took us like 4 days to get her login to work.
And what a waste of time. The amount, I know, because Tom is doing a lot of press for his special Ball Hog on Netflix now.
It's really funny.
Every single interview or piece that he's doing is like, okay, you have to set it up with the Zoom thing, or you have to set it up with this software, and it'll take him an hour to set up before his meeting. It's like, dude, I'm exhausted. And I will say too that I think after this pandemic, people are going to have a real appreciation for stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I at one point when I had Ellis was like, I should be a stay-at-home mom because it's no, I am not qualified. I've got my husband at home and we have the 2 children, and the kitchen is a disaster. By noon, there are toothpicks on the floor right now. When I left, brownies smeared everywhere, water, kidney beans.
Oh my God.
It's a nightmare. And how do these women not go insane? Like, how do you wake up and you go to bed, the babies are down, and then you wake up and it's just again with the babies all day, every day. And there's no time for yourself, and you're just giving and giving. And like today I fucking snapped. Juju was having a tantrum and I was like, I'm going to lose my shit, man. Like I can't. And I just want my nanny back. I'm just saying I love you. Come back.
Come back.
Claudia, where are you? Yeah, I don't know how did you do it?
Well, I was home alone a lot and working. I had a nanny only for the hours when I was at work.
Which is not enough, because now you come home from work and you're just thrown into
clean.
Mom.
I didn't have a cleaning person. I cleaned, I cooked. She just straight nannied. She didn't do any housework.
Bitch.
It's really hard. It's really exhausting.
And I'm 43. I'm not a 23-year-old mom. And
even at 23, I think it would be exhausting in a different way, because you may have physical energy, right? But you can't like do other things you might want to do, or your peers are doing. You're home raising kids. So maybe if your other peers are home raising kids, it's not as
God bless you stay-at-home moms. I have such a new appreciation for these women who give up you give up everything to be home with these babies. And could you, I was just like, God bless the women's movement that gave me some breathing room. Like, could you imagine all the laundry? You're doing all the dishes. You're doing all the cooking. You're doing it's so much. It's so much.
But I still do that. I mean,
all of it. LeeAnn, let's talk about your housekeeper.
Yeah.
Did you fire her yet?
Oh, Lord. Let me tell you. She hasn't been to work for me since the coronavirus. But it really did magnify what a bad cleaner she was, because I'm cleaning now.
Okay.
Like on the Thursday when she came, what else am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm cleaning. So I've like deep cleaned every room in my house, cleaned stuff out, gotten stuff ready to go to Goodwill when Goodwill's back up and running. And I was like, wow, she really is worse than I thought. So I think we're just going to not come back after Corona. I think Corona, you know what? Maybe that's why Corona happened.
Yeah. It's your
Is that
breakup.
the good Lord said, LeeAnn needs to get rid of this cleaning lady. She's not taking a hint. We're just going to pandemic the whole world so that she can fire this one person.
That's
Thank
right.
you, God.
That's why this happened. This is all for you.
It's all for me.
Yeah. Brilliant. God
Not
works.
self-centered at all.
God works in mysterious ways.
Doesn't he?
LeeAnn. But I wanted to share this book with my viewers, listeners. This is called Big Bird's Busy Book, and this is from. You're gonna love this. I brought this for us because this is our generation. I bought this book on the interwebs. This is published in 1975. So I know I was born in 76. So this is.
I was 5.
You're 5. Oh, this is your birth year. So if you were.
I was 5.
Oh, you were 5. Sorry. So your mother may have.
No.
Taken this book and said, LeeAnn Kreischer.
No, not
No,
my mother.
not your.
Someone else's mother born in 1970 might have done that.
Maybe a nicer neighbor lady
Somebody.
would have taken Big Bird's busy book and suggested you guys do one of the crafts in here. So these are crafts that Sesame Street told children to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, this one's my personal favorite. This is for the seasons, crafts for all seasons. And this one, Oscar the Grouch is telling you what to do. He says, you know what us grouches like to do in the summer? We like to go down to the swamp and play in the mud. Here are some of my favorite mud toys. The best thing to use is a plastic bleach bottle. You can cut off the bottom and use it as a pail.
Nice.
And you can cut the top like this and it makes a super duper mud scooper. Could you even imagine telling children to find a bleach bottle and cut the bottom out?
Nowadays, no. When I was a kid, oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a scoop, or it could be used as a funnel. Yeah, scoop, funnel, bucket.
Yeah,
all
and then
kinds of
later
shit.
you can put punch in it and drink out of it
100%
for lunchtime. They didn't have those stupid sippy
You can put your
cups.
whole arm in there and mix your Kool-Aid like this, right?
So there was that one. And then I thought I'd share this one. This one's my favorite. There's a lot of cookie recipes, which are really cute in here. Okay, here's Cookie Monster's colored candy cookies. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a cookie sheet with tin foil, sprinkle flour on the cloth, roll out the dough, and then you're going to break up colored candies into little pieces and put the pieces in openings in your pictures like this. So what you're going to do, you're just going to take your dad's hammer and you're going to...
Which is probably clean. Yeah? No coronavirus on that hammer.
It shows Cookie Monster taking a hammer
Oh my
and
God.
hammering a lollipop to make the pieces all jagged and sharp, and then you melt those into your cookies. I mean, don't you miss the 70s?
That's also called a tooth breaker, right? Because once you get that cookie, you can't possibly bite it without breaking a tooth.
No, that's the point. That's why we survived the 70s, man, and the 80s. Because of this pussy generation. You guys need to play with your fucking bleach bottles like we did. Anyways, I'm reading that book, The Coddling of the American Mind.
Oh, yeah, I've read it. Mhm.
You have?
Yeah, great book.
Now, when I say I'm reading it, I mean I sneak it on my iPhone in between when my children are distracted.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm taking a shit alone. Oh, here's another fun craft before we get into that.
Oh, boy.
These are pinwheels. Betty Lou teaches you how to make a pinwheel. You fold the paper in half, and then you find you find a pin, like an actual pen, and then you pull the eraser out of a pencil, and then you stab it through the paper with a sharp pin, which is cool.
You can't use the hammer from the craft before? Wouldn't that make sense? Take your hammer with the candy coated all over it and bang it on your pen, and then you have a nice...
And then you have a safe.
Yeah.
But this really reminded me of that book because it's talking about the over concern for safety. And this isn't shitting on the millennials. It's actually shitting on the generation after the millennials, and not the generation. It's shitting on the adults around them.
Yes.
Who created a safety obsession to the point of where their emotional safety is of the highest concern. And that's how we came up with things like trigger warnings.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can't discuss things in college that might make somebody emotionally upset, which is absurd because this book was saying how you develop a tolerance for things by exposure to them, much like how a vaccine works. They give you a little bit of the nasty, right?
Yeah.
The disease, and then you develop antibodies.
It's also how you manage anxiety is from exposure to
Right.
what makes you anxious.
Right.
And then you practice skills that help you not be anxious when you're
Right.
exposed to that situation, item, whatever knowledge that makes you
Right.
anxious. I found that book terrifying and and really good information to
Yeah.
go, okay, so that's how you're thinking? Okay, so then I can maybe present this, and it's really, life is about getting what you want, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have to present it in a way that gets you what you want, right? If you present it in the way that makes you feel good, you may not actually get what you want. So then what's the point of that?
Wait, what do you mean? Say
Like, if I want Bert to take out the garbage, I don't go, hey, dude, can you take out the garbage? Your turn. He's not going to do that. I have to go, it just is so nice when you help me. You are just so sexy. I love to see your biceps at work. You know what would really work? Lifting the garbage bag out and carrying it to the garbage. He'll do it.
Yeah, let's see how many push-ups you can do by the dumpster.
Exactly.
After you put those trash
Let me see you
bags.
roll those bins in, baby. In and out, in and out. And then he'll do it, right? And it's, at the end of the day, all I want is the garbage out.
That's
it feels
true.
so much better to go, hey, dude, can you just take this out? That feels really good to me. That's what I would say.
That's what I do. I'm an idiot. I'm a dum-dum.
Well, it just depends on what you want the end result to be. Do you want the end result to be I've taken care of myself, or I've gotten someone else to do what I've asked, which is then also taking care of myself?
But why don't they just do it? Like, if my husband asks me to do stuff, I feel like I just do it. Like, why
Same
can't
here.
They just fucking do it.
But sis, you could ask the same question of this group of people that the coddling of the American mind are talking about. Why don't they just do it? Why don't they just listen to what their professor has to say and accept it and manage their own emotions? Because some people aren't like that. And unfortunately, people have raised a generation of people who are not like that.
Right, resilience. There's no resilience. It's very interesting. And emotional and intellectual resilience is important. You have to be able to think about all sides of the argument
Yes.
to be a thoughtful person.
You know what else I think it has to do with? Part of my takeaway from that book was that people raising those kids did not teach them how to maintain their own boundary. To say, I don't like seeing Venus de Milo naked. But it doesn't mean that doesn't belong on the planet.
Right.
It just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to hold my boundary, and I'm going to sit in this classroom and go, I don't really like that, but I'm going to try and learn what the teacher is teaching me anyway.
Right, to take something of value from everything.
Yes.
It's not just like, this is bad. This makes me feel bad, therefore I can't.
Yes, you've now imposed on my boundary.
Yeah.
You've broken my boundary because I can't hold my own boundary in my
Yeah.
own psyche. Not that you need to have someone else go out and go, hey, you've crossed a boundary by showing me the Venus de Milo. You just hold it within your own mental health.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's interesting that you should impose your stuff on everyone. Well, I'm so curious how these anti-vaxxers are going to be after this pandemic. I mean, you got to be pretty diehard now if you're like, no thanks, I'm not going to take the coronavirus vaccine in a year from now. You better not fucking take it. If you're an anti-vaxxer, you better be ride or die, bitch. I don't want to see you guys in line getting your vaccines.
I have some serious thoughts about that.
You
I believe
ride or die.
It is your civic duty to get vaccinated. It is my opinion.
No.
You are putting everybody at risk if you don't.
Yeah, but don't you
vaccinate
feel
your
like
kids.
those people are going to be first in line to get the vaccine? All these nutbags that were anti-vaxxer.
I think it depends on the level of nutbag. I think it will depend.
How can you not, like,
I know one or two that probably won't.
are you being serious? I'm like, moms?
Yeah. Yeah. And there are 4 real nutbags where I go, yeah,
Yeah.
that one's probably not. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also not super into quarantining right now either, which is very confusing to me because kids aren't vaccinated for anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
That's just a personality type.
Disorder?
Huh? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Possibly a personality disorder. Possibly.
Wow.
Something's wrong for sure.
Something's wrong. Yeah. Like, who are these people completely disregarding? I haven't seen it in my neighborhood. Then again, I'm not really looking for it. I don't know.
I wasn't looking for it either.
I don't know.
But
I don't go. I don't know. I'm not. But if I went to Gelson's, I'd probably be like, "What the fuck?
right.
You guys are crazy." Yeah.
One or two in every neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Bless you.
Thank you. But anyway, back to husband management. So you're right. You can't go at them straight. You got to go at them sideways.
I can't go at mine straight. No.
No, if I go at mine straight, okay, and then like
it's forgotten.
Time will pass, and I'll be like, dude, can you do that? Can you do that? And then the nighttime is okay.
Same.
Give up.
And mine always has. My mind is engaged in creativity.
Oh my God.
I can't think about the garbage, and I want to go.
Oh.
Mine used to be engaged in creativity, but that had to push pause because somebody had to take out the fucking garbage.
Yeah.
So if not, we'd be living in a pile of garbage. So,
Well, and
push pause for 2 seconds.
you can do it. And also, Tom and I both live in creativity mind. We still take out our trash, so don't let him fucking tell you that.
No. It's not just limited to the trash. It's limited to it's everything. I can't do that because I'm busy flushing the toilet. Perfect example. Yeah. I'm like, who gets up and walks away?
And there's brown in the bowl.
Oh yeah.
No.
Who gets up and walks away? He does. And for 18 years I've said, turn your ass around and flush it.
18 years.
Oh, I can't fix this problem. I've tried everything to fix this problem.
You know what you need to get?
What?
It's expensive.
BB gun?
No.
What?
You need to get a Toto toilet.
We have one.
And it self-flushes. No, the toilet.
Oh, I don't have the self-flushing one.
You got to get.
Okay.
It'll solve your marital problem. I'm a huge believer in outsourcing what you can. And in this situation.
Brilliant.
It sounds like you need to outsource.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But don't
this
you
dog's
think,
not going to change.
how do you respect a person
that
who doesn't flush their shit?
It's crazy. It's a fundamental. It's like the first thing you teach a toddler.
Yeah.
It's like one of the first. And not only that, the lack of shame. You're not ashamed.
Oh, no. There's no shame.
That your wife sees your smelly
no shame.
ropes of brown.
No, first joke in his special. I shit on the underside of the toilet.
Oh, right.
Accurate, very accurate. He also doesn't flush the toilet. So I think his excuse, the reason we got on this topic was, his excuse was, while he's on the shitter, he's writing jokes.
Oh, stop.
So by the time he gets up, he's writing in his joke book, or he's already in this creative space, so he can't flush the toilet. Such a crock of shit.
Such a liar.
No pun intended again.
Yeah.
But such a crock of shit.
Such a crock.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I tell my husband, because the other day he walked over and he just ripped a fart on me, like on me. And I was like, babe, you know I'm a woman, right? Like at some point you want to put your penis in me, and like, do you think you could think of me as a woman? Like, remember when we first started dating? Like, did Bert do that from the very beginning? Where
Yeah, he's always not flushed the toilet.
even when you were courting?
Yes. I think that he has something wrong with him
Yeah.
in that arena.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with
Something
him.
wrong. Maybe, you know what they say? So my shrink told me that little children, when they're toilet training, they don't want to flush because it's like some part of them is going away. And they don't understand.
I would buy that.
Maybe,
I would buy that entirely.
maybe it's like a Freudian stage that he never went through, and he doesn't want to part with his gold. You know what I mean?
I would totally buy that.
Wait. No, because he said it before. He's like, I want to leave parts of myself around.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
said this before.
Yeah. No. He needs to see evidence of himself everywhere. That's why he doesn't clean up.
That's the
Because he
brown.
needs to see evidence. So, like, our bathroom, I have everything, like, against the mirror, and it's all, so you have space here. His shit is like this, so he can see everything out. So he can see evidence of himself. Yes, yeah. So I guess maybe that is
I bet
leaving.
you the brown. God, I'm so brilliant.
Marking his spot.
You should bring out with the shrink. He needs to talk to his shrink about that one. I mean, that's, to me, I'd be so mortified if you know how sometimes you flush and there's a little remnant, like a kibble left behind, and I am mortified to think that anybody saw that.
Yeah, I don't do that either. I flush and make sure it's down, and if it's not down, I flush again and make sure it's down.
Even if there's skids, I'm like, oh God, I better clean the skids. I don't want my husband to see skids.
Oh, I don't have skids. I don't have that problem. I'm clean. I'm very clean.
I have skids. eat a lot of fiber. Well, as long as we're on the topic of husband management in this time of pandemic, I don't know if you saw this in the national news, but it says from Malaysia, the government released a thing that says, don't nag your husband during lockdown.
What?
This was sent to me by my child's pediatrician. Shout out to Dr. Thank you for this. It says, Elak pakai pakaruma, Bartahay says, scroll up so I can read the article. It says Malaysia has the largest number of COVID-19 cases in Southeast Asia, with more than 2,900 and counting. This week, Malaysia's government also had a serious PR issue after an ill-conceived plan went online. Malaysia's Ministry for Women, Family, and Community Development issued a series of online posters on Facebook and the Gram with the hashtag Women Prevent COVID-19. It advised the nation's women to help with the country's partial lockdown by not nagging their husbands. The ministry also advised women to refrain from being, quote, sarcastic if they asked for help with household chores.
What?
And it urged women working from home to dress up and wear makeup.
What?
Yeah.
Do you emit less spit if you do that? Is that what it is? You spit less if you're not nagging? Do you spit more when nagging?
I don't know, but the women of Malaysia did not appreciate it. It's extremely condescending both to women and men. Nisha Shabananaga, manager of the advocacy group All Women's Action Society, wrote, these posters promote the concept of gender inequality, and perpetuate the concept of patriarchy. Hilarious. So yeah, Malaysian, the women were like, nah, bro. This is like the 1950s, and that's what they told American women, right? Like, you should make the avoid wearing home clothes. It said, dress up as usual, put on makeup, and dress neatly.
There's no advice for the men?
No, they can just do it. I think
so they can wear their home clothes?
they're
like slobs?
Dumpy sweats. This is so great. But anyway, so if you're, in Malaysia, shout out.
Wowza.
Yeah. So,
Wowza.
But husband management. So you tell.
Husband management.
So what you do is you compliment. Do you really say that to him though, or how do you get him?
No, I don't really say that to him.
Okay, so what do
That's
you?
That's my theory.
That's your theory. So how do you implement getting him to do stuff around the house?
You know what's really funny is since we've been home, he's been super easy. I've been able to say, "Hey, babe, can you blow off the backyard so we can, get rid of the orange blossoms?" And he's like, "Okay."
My husband too has been surprisingly.
Yeah, same. Shocked. I'm shocked.
And which makes me so upset because it's like, oh, motherfucker, like where's this guy been?
Yeah, right?
15 years, you ain't done shit, and now he's putting dishes in the dishwasher.
Oh, that ain't happening in my house. But if I ask for something, Bert's an excellent cook, so he cooks a lot.
I wish my husband would do that.
He's doing a lot of the cooking.
God, I wish.
But for stuff like the stuff that I don't have to ask for help with cooking. I have to ask for help with scooping dog shit out of the backyard. Or we have this huge orange tree that's just dropping orange blossoms at a massive rate. So we can't keep the backyard clean. It needs to be blowed off every couple days. That's the stuff that I would have to figure out. For me, it was how I'd ask him. I wouldn't compliment him. I was exaggerating about the biceps and whatever. But I have to figure out the timing and the wording, based on his mood, to be able to get him to do something I wanted. But now that mood his mood's pretty stable. He hasn't drank since he's been home.
It's great.
Which is 21 days or something.
It's amazing. And how does he feel? Is he
great?
Better? Yeah.
Yeah, he feels great.
It's good.
So yeah, he's super even keel. Not that he's crazy up and down, but his sleep was erratic if he drinks a lot. He just sleeps all the time. And now he's not doing that. He's present.
Wow.
It's been actually great. I feel again like maybe this happened just for my family. Because I go, wow, he's really plugged into everything we're doing. He wants to be part of everything that's going on with the girls, and not that they have that much going on, but every single night we watch a movie together as a family. We eat dinner. We've always ate dinner together, and then everybody would kind of separate off and finish homework or whatever, but nobody's that busy now, so we're watching movies every night, and we're having conversations. Our two daughters are getting along better than they have in years, which I'm shocked. I thought the quarantine, we again thought there would be blood, but no.
I think it has something with what you said, is that we're in kind of an Anne Frank sitch where we don't know how long this war is going to last,
Right.
and we don't know the level of uncertainty in the external world is so high that I think maybe that's because same with our house is really pleasant, and I'm really enjoying for the most part this time with everybody. And maybe some of that is like because we know on an unconscious level, like we can't sully these waters, like you can't be a dick and be like fuck you later, because this could be months,
Right.
we're in each other's space.
Yes. What are you guys watching?
I'll tell you. Oh, but first let me get to my husband management.
Yes,
So
yes,
here's
please.
what
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I want to tell you what I've been doing that's been really effective.
Sex.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot too.
Yeah.
It's been actually really fun. What else do you have to do?
What else do you have
Kind
to
of feel
do?
like I'm in rural Georgia again.
Yeah.
Eat, sleep, drink, fuck.
You guys are horny.
That's it.
Yeah. I think and it puts him in a because my husband's he's kind of a basic bitch. Like he likes screwing, good flavors in his mouth, eating, and nice touches. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really the essence of Tom Segura. And as long as I feed him, I cook a lot. We're effing a lot. And last night I even gave him a massage,
Nice.
and that bought me a lot of goodwill today.
Awesome.
It puts him in the best mood.
Right.
And now he does whatever I want. Like that's the best part is that he takes out the trash more readily. He's changing diapers more readily. It's like I put up the karma, like I put it in a bank, and then now he feels obligated to do more. So it's manipulative on my part, but it's working.
But it's
So-
working. Hey, it's all about what you need. How do you get what you need? How do you get what you need? It's how it's presented, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good
so
plan.
I'm manipulating, but in a positive, it's been good. As parents, we want to encourage our children to pursue their dreams and provide opportunities that give them the best chance to succeed. And sometimes that means optimizing their routine, making it more flexible, more dynamic, so they have more time to focus on the things they love. And that's why there's Laurel Springs. Laurel Springs is an accredited online private school for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Laurel Springs recognizes that each child is a unique individual with their own personal interests, special talents, and unique learning style. So they have flexible programs that offer challenging and diverse elective courses. Let's say you notice that your child is inclined to be a great speller, or maybe they're into math. Why not supplement their education with Laurel Springs? Laurel Springs is accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges and Advanced Ed, which means their transcripts are recognized by colleges and universities worldwide. Register your child at laurelsprings.com/WMMA today and receive a waived registration fee. That's laurelsprings.com/WMMA for your waived registration fee. laurelsprings.com/WMMA. Okay, so sorry, back to what we were watching. Okay, I'm into Euphoria right now on HBO.
What is that?
Do you want to be terrified about your teenage daughters?
No.
Don't watch Euphoria.
Okay, never mind.
It's great.
Is it?
I'm learning all about this generation's culture, how they text, how they sext, how they send each other nudies.
What?
How they're transgendered. They're boys or girls and girls are boys. It's fucking great. And they do drugs and their music. It's great. But it's depressing because the central character she's gotten out of rehab and she...
Is it fiction?
Yeah, it's a drama on HBO. I love it. And you know me, I love teen stuff. I just like to be in touch with what the kids are up to.
Right.
Okay, Ozark. We're deep into that. Obviously, Tiger King.
Yeah,
You into that?
Yeah. We've already watched the whole thing.
It's astounding.
I'm probably related to half those people.
I was gonna say,
probably,
do you know a lot of that? Like, do you feel like you know people like that from home?
Oh yeah. Well, I was talking to my sisters-in-law, and they were watching Tiger King, and she was so innocent, bless her heart. She was like, I don't understand why they all are missing teeth. And I went, oh my God, honey child, that's called meth mouth. And she was like, there's a thing? I was like, oh, girlfriend. Yeah,
Wait,
that's the thing.
She didn't know about that? That's silly. That's
she didn't.
silly.
She didn't know it looked like that.
Yeah.
That teeth actually like break and fall out, and it's pretty bad. Yeah, I have some relatives that had some
Meth mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sure enough.
Congratulations.
I know,
That's
right?
really shitty. Yeah.
My hometown, I guess, not to be proud of this, but just to know level that it was happening in my hometown, about 20% of the town was arrested by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for meth in one sting operation. They arrested like 300 people. The town has 1,600 people.
Now,
so meth mouth is rampant.
it's rampant.
It's everywhere.
Well, I'm just curious, and this might be a dumb question, but why meth and not any other street drug? Like, is it just that it's cheap,
'Cause you can
readily
make it.
available? You can make it yourself?
Yeah, you can make it yourself. A lot of them were arrested for making it
Aha. Okay.
because the GBI would not be involved if you're just taking it.
The GBI.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The
Gotcha.
FBI, but in Georgia.
Got you.
They deal with like alcohol, tobacco, firearm stuff.
Gotcha. So these people think they're qualified to be chemists. And from watching
Totally.
Breaking Bad, I understand that it's not easy to make meth. It's quite a scientific experiment.
That's what's really fascinating, I think, is a lot of these, homeboys from boys that I grew up with are super smart.
Yes.
They fail out of school.
Geniuses.
But they can make meth.
Yeah.
They can build a car out of like a matchbook.
100%.
And then you go, well, clearly the educational system is failing them because they are really smart.
Oh,
if they
yeah.
can figure this out, then you need to give them something to learn that they're interested in.
Oh, yeah.
At least one of the 6 periods a day at school. Give them something, auto mechanics, something they can do that's interesting to them because they're clearly smart people.
Well, businessmen, I think, are just criminals who have mastered the law, like who do crime within their boundaries of the law. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Like
Yeah,
they're
I do.
educated criminals, essentially. Not all of them, but, there's a lot of people who are doing illegal stuff. But yeah, I agree. If they could have just harnessed that energy into something positive, it would have been much better for them.
Yeah, but they
It's too
feel
bad.
lost and they feel like they don't have anything to do. And so why not? Let's see if we can make some meth. And we make it and we like it. Well, let's just keep making it, That's kind of not brain surgery to figure that out. So
Do you do meth? Have you tried meth?
no, I've never done any drugs. I just drank and I've smoked pot 4 times and I threw up all 4 times. So I
Really?
figured pot's not for my body.
Yeah, you must be like allergic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Pot makes me freak out a lot too.
It made me paranoid and then vomit every time. I was like, this is not fun at all.
Not the vomiting part. I can't imagine why people even do heroin anymore. That seems nutty. All right, let's do some topical stuff from the listeners. Let's do what would Christina P do. So this one is kind of rando, but I like the rando. I'm not a parent, but I love your show. I was looking for a little dating advice. I've been talking to a girl on Tinder who says she's goth. I haven't asked her out yet, but when I do, should I expect anything or bring anything to the table? Piss on me, beat me. AJ. Yeah, AJ. Good question. Thank you. I'm an expert. Listen, goth girls, for the most part, kind of only want to date goth guys. So they can smell a weekender, is what we would call them. Posers. A mile away, unless she's got a thing for normals. Now, here's what you can do to make yourself more appealing to her. You got to show her what's weird about you. That's really what it is. Goth girls feel like they're big outsiders. They're big weirdos. If you can show her that you're a weirdo, she will be attracted to that. Also, you may want to brush up on some of the bands she likes. Goths are very territorial about what kind of music they like. Is she a Marilyn Manson goth? Is she a Cure goth? Is she a Bauhaus, Joy Division, an old school jam? I don't know. You got to find these things out. Goth girls are very, very down with the music. So there you go. Good luck. They like Edgar Allan Poe. If you could read her a poem, like a goth poem.
The Raven.
Percy Shelley. Yeah, I like romantic poetry. Romantic is in the period, a very dark period. Okay, here's a question. Maybe you could, we'll get into this together, Miss LeeAnn. Okay, hold on. I want your opinion. My spouse and I have a 3-year-old daughter. She came unexpectedly and everything happened so fast. We are now just getting settled into our new house, our new lives. I love the dynamic of having the 3 of us, plus our dog, because everybody gets a reasonable amount of attention. Everyone's been pressuring me to have a second kid. I'm turning 33, and I'm afraid if I don't start trying for one now, there will be more risk to the baby or myself. But at the same time, do I really want to ruin the dynamic we are just getting used to? I'm terrified to have a second kid, but I'm also terrified that I might regret not having one in the future. Or maybe I might decide later on that I want one, but by then it might be too late. Can I also just say how unfair it is that women have a biological clock? Did you plan for a second? And what was your deciding factor? Thanks, Christina. Oh, Giselle from Calgary. What are your thoughts, Miss LeeAnn?
Well, I was an only child, and I didn't want my kids to be only children. I was
Same.
very lonely, and yeah, so that was our deciding factor. We had Georgia, and we had Isla when Georgia was just over 2, and it was because we wanted them close enough so that they could, play with each other and have stuff to relate to, with each other. If they're too far apart, I think they're in completely different phases. For the kind of middle and teenager years. They can kind of, they still kind of speak the same language for a lot of those phases. So yeah, we had a second one because I just didn't want to have an only child. I didn't like being an only child.
No, neither did I. It was miserable for me. But then again, you and I grew up in extreme circumstances, having mentally ill parents and such. So, I can say that, I don't know. But then again, I know some people that are raising an only child, and it seems to be really ideal for them and their older parents, and it's awesome. So I think that you're asking me about regretting. That's the kind of thinking I was at too. Is like, I might regret it. Fuck it, just go for it.
Right.
Just go all in. Your life's already in the toilet. Like,
Stay in the. Your life's already in the toilet.
It's already a doomsday. But here's the thing that I believe is that once a kid hits 4, easy street for me.
You're right.
Easy street compared to the first 3 years. So let me ask you this. Do you have money? Money's great to have when you have an extra kid around. Do you have the money? Do you have the time? Do you have the structure to support you having a second child? Those are more important questions. You can delay your biological clock. You can put your eggs on ice. That's what I did. I had the second baby through IVF. The first was Clomid. So yes, I did plan for a second, knowing after I had Ellis that I wanted to do this again. And I orchestrated. They're 2.5 years apart. My children as well. Same thinking. So that's, no one can decide for you.
No one can. I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's great. Georgia Kreischer was the perfect child. And I think not all the time. I do think sometimes how easy it would have been just to have had her, because she was so easy. But Isla has given us she was very difficult. She's still really difficult in her own way, but she's so open and just like fun and completely different than Georgia. Not that Georgia's not open or fun. They're just very different.
Totally.
So the experience of just having Georgia would have been much more kind of even and calm than the kind of ups and downs and the, challenges we've had to face with Isla, which has made everybody more rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately, having a new family member is rad, I would say. Ellis was way harder than Julian. So if I'd thought that every kid was as hard as Ellis. So when Julian came along, I was like, oh, they don't just scream all the time. Like, not everything is a battle. There's kids that are just easy going. It was, I'm always thankful that we didn't have them in the opposite, that I had Julian first. If I had Julian first and then Ellis, you'd have to check me into a hospital.
I had Julian first and then Ellis.
Oh no!
I had Julian first and then Ellis.
No, because you think it's easy street, and then you have the more difficult kids second. That's got to be rough.
It was awful. Yeah.
So
that part was hard.
Yeah, just know if your first one's chill, your second one's probably not gonna be chill.
Right.
That's what I've noticed with twosies, is that one's chill, one's not chill.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's usually it. Yeah. I could say that about all our friends that have two. One is easy and one is more challenging, for sure. No, and there's no order to it,
No.
Sometimes the first one's more challenging. Sometimes the second one. In our group of friends that have 2 kids each, it's not necessarily like first one's easy.
No, dude, mine was not.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, money. If you have money, if you have the resources, if you have the time, also considerations, because it sucks being broke and having kids. I would not want to do that. You need all the help you can get. Oh, this is funny. Maybe you can help me with this one, because I'm having the same problem with my 4-year-old. Okay, I'm emailing on advice for my bestie who has a roommate with a 10-year-old daughter. there has been this issue going on, especially now with quarantine, that her roommate lets the 10-year-old just be naked all the time. My bestie is super uncomfortable because the girl will be spread eagle on the couch across from her and walking around naked all day. She has said multiple times to the mom/roommate she is uncomfortable. She's even said to the daughter, put a robe on, which she does, but then doesn't tie it closed. Okay, she said it should be noted this girl does not have any spectrum disorders or supersensory quirks like LeeAnn has mentioned about her daughter and clothing. So my best friend has decided to just stay up in her room, but then the roommate texts her and is like, what is wrong? Are you mad at me? My friend is about to lose it. What or how can she tell her roommate how she is uncomfortable without telling her she is weird or insulting her parenting for allowing her 10-year-old to be naked all the time? Much appreciated. Love you, mommy. Shalom. I know.
There should be a pamphlet for that. You could just leave on the coffee table, right? Yeah, just leave it there.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll read it. That's tough.
Yeah, because my 4-year-old is a full-blown nudist.
Oh, you remember you used to come to
Naked
my house.
baby house. Yeah, naked time.
Naked time.
We have
I
naked
was
time, too.
naked every day, but not at 10.
10's different.
10's different. Once you get into 10, now 10 is prepubescent, so typically there's no physical development of any kind of, boobs or anything like that. At 10, it happens sometimes for kids that early, but it is not really appropriate.
No, not at 10.
Not at 10.
Because 4, Ellis is now bordering on like, oh boy, we got to get this one.
Right.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know. How do you deal with that? How do you say to the roommate, so the roommate doesn't think that you're, creepy by saying, it's creepy for your daughter to be naked when the roommate clearly thinks there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's tough. And you're quarantined with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
maybe.
Yeah.
The woman who wrote should just sit spread eagle naked on the couch also. And then with the 10-year-old, and maybe the mom will go, you know what? Maybe there's something wrong with that. Maybe this is a bad plan.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. I'll be like, how does that feel?
What do you think about this?
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh my God.
I don't know. That's really hard.
I mean, has she really communicated it to her how uncomfortable it makes her feel? I mean, if she's really communicated that of like, hey, dude, I see your daughter's meow vagina spread eagle. It's really making me like to the point where I don't want to come downstairs and be with you. And I want to be with you. I'd really like to spend time with you guys, but I can't unless.
Right.
I mean, I think an ultimatum is kind of in line here. Can't you do that?
I think so.
That's not out of line, is it?
Just a private conversation
What the fuck can you say?
with the mom saying, hey,
Yeah, not with the kid there though.
Panties and a t-shirt. She can spread eagle all day long in her panties and a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I told Ellis, that he just needs to put on chonies. I go, just for hygiene and for you can hurt your penis or your anus.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm going to put this in my butt. Like he was putting a broom in his butt the other day. And I'm like, oh, Nadav is suggesting. Say your suggestion, Native.
Ultimatums are not usually a good route to take, but using I statements.
You better fucking do this, bitch.
No, yeah. So instead of saying like, "Hey, it's either X or it's Z," you pick. You say, "Hey, it makes me feel.
Yeah, I feel sad. I can't be with you guys.
Uncomfortable when I see a growing child that's naked in front of me all the time.
Yeah, it's gross.
So it's not something that you're doing. It's something that I'm reacting to. It's not your fault,
Well, maybe I wonder if because the mother is the mother's daughter, she doesn't see it the same. You know what I mean? Like clearly. If I saw my 10-year-old naked, I wouldn't think twice about it. But I would if it were in front of someone, not in our household. Even her aunt, I would be like, whoa, put some clothes on. Your aunt's coming over. But maybe it just hasn't like, hey, wait a minute. That's maybe not okay.
Well, 10 is, like you said, prepubescent.
Yeah, it is.
That's a time when you're getting body hair and stuff. And
it starts for some girls at 10. Most of the time it's a little bit later, but...
Well, you think that the girl would even be starting to register, but maybe not. Maybe she's still young.
I don't know.
Did you walk around naked? Was that your thing?
Hell to the no.
Yeah, I wasn't.
My mother was naked 24/7. I was nude.
Gross. My dad was a nudie.
Yeah.
Always naked.
Oh, my mom cleaned the house naked. Yeah. She'd put Queen records on and vacuum. Boobs flopping. I'd be like, oh my God.
It doesn't even feel good to have your
No.
tits slapping around when you're vacuuming.
No, she said it was too hot to wear clothes.
Put a schmott on. Put a freaking tube tie. Okay, what grade is it? 5th graders. Yeah, 5th grade. I think by 6th grade.
10 is
you're
5th
in.
grade? 5th grade, you definitely start some development.
Because I got armpit hair at 9.
I did too.
Yeah, so even then you start to go, what?
Yeah.
Time to cover it up.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad was always naked.
Yeah, no, I was naked.
Sunbathing.
Same.
My friends would come over and I'd have to tell him, like, dude, could you cover your junk? Could you put on a Speedo at least? It's disgusting.
Yeah. It's awkward.
Hey, what's the update on your kiddo's messed up friend? Remember your cutter friend, the cutting friend? Any updates?
No updates. No, nothing.
Same old.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I'm not as I'm not. I think she's probably doing better.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's doing better.
Wait, sorry, this is Georgia's friend, right? And she goes
Georgia's
to the same
friend.
school as Georgia? Oh. Those ladies won't let shit happen.
No, I know, right?
Yeah.
Such an amazing place.
Don't worry about it.
So I think she seems like I haven't heard a lot from Georgia about her, like negative at all. So hopefully better.
Yeah, I think kids are enjoying all this time with their parents.
You know what? I was just talking to a mom, our new neighbor who has an 11th grader. And she said her daughter's doing so much better homeschooling that the social pressures at school, she didn't even realize were bothering her until they were removed. And so once she's at home, just learning is just like, all I have to do is learn. I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing.
Oh, that's a
what
big
I look
deal.
like. And, you know, your high school, Georgia's high school, doesn't really, that's not the culture of that school. They're like, wear sweatpants from October to March.
Yeah.
They don't have to wear makeup. The girls look literally like they rolled out of bed and they're there to learn.
It's awesome.
So the culture of that school doesn't have that kind of pressure. But I think that's not the norm. I think the norm is there's a lot of pressure to look, be, act a certain way. And at home, you don't have to do any of that.
I mean, I can't even imagine going to high school where there were boys in the classroom and a boy I was attracted to, and then like somebody you're texting and maybe you want to look cute for them. Like I would have been obsessed with looking cute.
It's distracting.
Yeah.
It's very distracting.
Yeah. Like I don't even know how young people learn in a, whatever, co-ed environment.
Yeah.
Like
I was all about the boys.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah, I
Are
would
you
have failed
kidding?
out. Yeah.
I was a cheerleader and I was like, I need to hem my skirt so you can just see my bloomers when I walk, when it goes like this, because then all the boys will follow me in the hall. And it worked. That was my number one concern was what is the maximum length that gets the ultimate flop for the bloomer reveal.
Hell yeah.
And some of our hallways had an up ramp, right? So you really wanted it so that on the up ramp, the boys could just see under your skirt. Yeah. That was all I thought about. I don't know. I don't think I learned anything. I definitely didn't learn anything about the Constitution, which I'm reteaching now. So
I would not, just doing your makeup, looking cute all the time. I would be, and imagine if you had a pimple. Like, remember how you'd freak out about, like, oh my God, I have to keep it covered. I would, like, apply cover up 20 times a day.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that took a lot of pressure off. Going to an all-girls Catholic school was, like, the best thing that my parents did. Definitely was putting me there. It just relieved all that social bullshit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the internet now, though, like the Instagram and seeing what everyone else is doing all the time, although that's gone too. So maybe the kids can relax.
Yeah. I think it's better in a lot of ways for a lot of kids to just have that pressure removed and just be in the kind of the safety of your home, I guess. And maybe not everybody's home is safe, but I'd like to think my kid's home is safe.
It is, yeah.
And they, are just kind of, we're trying to enjoy this time. When this first quarantine first started, Bert and I were in his man cave, and I said, this is about perspective.
Yeah.
Our perspective should be, we're safe. We're doing everything the CDC is telling us to do to be safe. So why not enjoy this time together?
Because it's going to end.
It's going to end, and look at it as a gift.
Yeah.
As opposed to, a curse or being trapped.
I agree. Yeah.
To look at it as a gift. We get a free gift to spend all this time together, to watch movies, to we have been throwing the softball every day. We've been taking the dog out for walks as a family all the time, which we just don't have time. I mean, softball in and of itself is like a full-time job. So for us to just, make cookies every couple nights, the girls just go make cookies all the time together.
You're not eating those cookies, are you?
I'm not eating those cookies now.
Yeah.
But
you look great. You don't need to eat those fucking cookies.
Thank you. But yeah, I think your perspective dictates your day to day. So like how you and Tom are getting along and everything seems to be working great and he's helpful. It's because of how you've decided, the tone you've set for this.
Well, yeah, because we do know this will end. This is not going to go on infinitely.
Totally.
And like you said, you're safe. You got your needs met for the most part. Hey, man, as long as I can get Instacart and eventually I will get a bag of flour, I know that will come back. And also, I've always had this fantasy in therapy. I've always had this fantasy of, like, I wish the world would stop.
Slow down.
No, I want it stopped.
Why?
Because that way I don't feel pressure to be successful. I don't feel the pressure to produce, to be, to do, like just to be. Like, what would that be like just to exist? And now I've got my wish. It's so fucking surreal to have that. And my therapist would always be like, you don't really mean that. You don't really want to do nothing, do you? And I'm like, no, I really, like, that end of Office Space, that character who's like, I don't want to do anything. The guy who's like, I don't want to do anything. Yeah. That's who I am. I'm like, I don't want to try. I don't need to. I can literally sit and think for hours, like long plane flights. People bitch about, oh, you do 5 hours. I literally can sit there and just think for 5 hours because there's everything to think about. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I like it. I like that this finally happened.
I'm enjoying it too. I'm enjoying the forced slowdown.
Yeah.
It's really a forced slowdown. And, my family's been doing this for years. But every night at dinner, we always say, what was your favorite thing about the day? What was your least favorite thing about the day? And we just add a new one. What are you grateful for? And what are you grateful for doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, I'm grateful for my health, or I'm grateful for my grandparents that are healthy. It can be like, what was it? Yesterday was like, I'm grateful for this one knife that we have because it's my favorite knife for spreading butter. And you go, okay, but those little things, you don't stop and take the time to think about when we're in our hectic softball, piano, blah, 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 blah. Yes, constantly doing. You don't stop and go, you know what, I really do like that knife. That's a great knife. We use it all the time and I don't even think twice about it.
But I like that state of being, like where I just marvel at, like, oh, that's dope. I saw a woodpecker. For the first time in 43 years. I've never seen a real life woodpecker pecking on the tree. And somebody walking by goes, there's a woodpecker up there. I go, you got to be shitting me, man. I've only ever seen a cartoon. And I looked at it and I was like, this is crazy. It took a pandemic for me to just be able to go and see a woodpecker. That's bananas, man.
It is bananas. And I'm interested to know what our...
I hope this never ends. I just want to stay. I'm just kidding. Kidding. No.
What? We can stop
the pandemic. No, because I want to go to I want to do comedy again. I do miss stand up. I miss my friends, but
I miss my friends too.
Other than that,
and I miss my podcast. Our podcast. I did one episode on Zoom, and it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's hard. It's awkward.
Sucks.
It's a different person on the screen than who's talking, and it's very awkward and very impersonal.
Oh, and for the record, we're allowed to podcast through the California guidelines.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this is totally legal. Some of you are probably like, how the hell are she and LeeAnn doing this? The media is allowed to continue podcasting. So by law, I'm allowed to do this shit, all right?
And we're very careful. I've washed my hands a bunch.
Yes.
And
we all test negative. Okay. But so what you can't do really a solo cast, I guess, for yours.
Not really. I mean, I've asked a few friends, are you comfortable? Because they're sitting 6 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And they're not. And you have to be respectful of that and say, okay, no problem. You're not comfortable? Totally fine. We'll do it online. But I do miss that a lot.
Yeah. Bummer, man.
That's okay. I'll figure it out.
Well, the good news is in New York, the the death toll has finally gone down.
Going down a little bit, yep.
That's positive news, guys.
Yep.
Less bodies in the streets. So well, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Isn't that crazy that we don't know?
No,
Nobody
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how. I'm hoping they come up with a vaccine.
Oh, they will. I have doctor friends, and they're saying that yes, it should be fairly not easy, but it's gonna happen. Obviously, it will happen. Who knows?
It will. I think this is just a very smart virus. It seems to be changing and morphing a little bit.
Great.
And that's what's a little scary about
Fucking
it.
great. All right. Well, try to have fun, you guys. This will end.
Yes.
This is not permanent, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But hey, man, we're living a wacky time. This is it. We're going to be able to talk about this in a year from now, hopefully, in a very different way, and enjoy the surrealness and enjoy the moments you can. Right? What are you going to do today when you go?
Today, when I go home,
What's on the menu?
inspire Isla to shower.
Ooh,
That's one. Cause
That's cool.
She's not big on that in this quarantine.
really?
Which is, yesterday I went in her room and her windows are open, which never happens. And I was like, why'd you open your windows? She said, my whole room smells like feet.
Oh,
And I went, okay, maybe you should wash those feet. Call me crazy. No. I'm just going to open the window. So she literally did not wash her feet. Lit a candle also
oh my God.
to help with the foot smell.
She's got to go to this all girls school, man. She'd fit right in.
Cannot wait.
She's gonna fit
I
right
actually
in.
bought her a sweatshirt because she's going to the same school as Georgia. That's coming in the mail so she can feel a little inspired
How long until she goes to this school?
when they're back in school
One more year?
in the fall.
No, Isla will be
A freshman
in high school.
in the fall.
Girl,
Can you believe that?
This is gonna be great for her.
It'll be the most perfect thing that has ever happened for her
Yeah.
in education.
Is she into sports?
She wants to play softball
She will.
with Georgia. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
And those chicks don't shower either, right? They're a bunch of dirtbags.
Nope.
Softball players.
I can't say Georgia is proficient in that area either. So maybe I'll inspire her to shower also. I'm going to inspire some showers. I'm going to figure out dinner. I know Bert and I at like 4 o'clock were like, what should we do for dinner? And yes, last night he went, it's already time to do that. I mean, oh my God, the day's almost over already.
I know.
And we just feel very unproductive. But I'll probably, if it's not raining, I'll sit in the yard with my dogs. And
Isn't that nice? Just like I pet my dog. Yeah, I like
It
petting
is.
the dogs.
And we'll watch a movie. Tonight we're watching, oh crap, the movie with Ben Stiller, Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that one's funny.
Yeah, they've
that's
never
a good
seen it.
one. Oh, that's super funny.
So yeah.
Very controversial. He does blackface in it, right?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always
Boo.
explain stuff like that to the girls. Like, especially John Hughes films, we'll go, okay,
Yeah.
16 Candles is one of the best films made, except there's this one scene where Jake Ryan is telling Farmer Ted he can pretty much rape the girl.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie's amazing.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
watch this movie. That's
Super funny. When they make a bunch of Asian jokes, long duck dongs, pretty
Yes.
funny.
We talked about that too. We
Yeah.
watched Blazing Saddles, and I was like, okay, this is a parody of racism.
Yeah.
And you are going to hear the N-word repeatedly.
Yeah.
This is making fun of racism. So this is actually Mel Brooks making fun of people being stupid enough to believe that a black man can't be
Yeah,
a sheriff.
of course.
So
Yeah.
just so you know, that's what's happening. We're
Yeah,
not-
Mel Brooks is brilliant.
He's so brilliant.
You know what we watched the other day was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Which one? The original?
Girl.
The only one?
The only one.
I agree.
Fuck Johnny Depp and his
Agree.
whack ass
Agree.
rendition.
Teeth.
Stupid.
No, stupid.
Nonsense. Nonsense. Boo boo, double
Yeah,
boo
double
on Johnny
boo.
Depp. Google this nonsense. He sucks. Because he was trying to play weird. And the thing is, he doesn't have the depth or the comedy chops to be Willy Wonka.
It was just dark.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was dark yet likable. And he's a dick. Gene Wilder is kind of a piece of shit in this movie.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to be a lovable piece of shit.
Yeah.
And what's so great about this movie is that it teaches children that there are boundaries and that you cannot fuck with boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you will die in a candy factory.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Kids love this movie.
Because they thrive on boundaries.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
We watched Stir Crazy the other day.
I love Stir Crazy.
That's what we're doing. We're going through all these old movies they've never seen.
Yeah.
And watching these old movies like Stir Crazy. And we were like, listen, it's going to move slower than you're used to.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not a fast pace. I mean, it's the 70s or 80s, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they're loving all these old movies. We watched Places in the Heart, which is a soulful movie. And I again said it's not going to move as fast as what you're used to. They loved it. They're loving all of these old movies. I mean, you can only watch Marvel so many times.
Yeah. I can't wait to show my kiddos that kind of stuff. Good comedies. That's like the building blocks of good comedies.
100%.
I think Coming to America is the most perfect comedy ever made.
Love that movie.
Every time it's on, I have to stop and watch it. It is a perfect fucking comedy. Eddie
agree.
Murphy's a genius, brilliant. Any John Hughes movie, I'm on board too. God damn, I love him.
I got to show the girls Bowfinger.
That's a
love
good
that
one
movie.
too. Yeah.
With Mindhead, wasn't that?
Yeah. So
that
dumb.
movie killed me.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy was so good in that movie also.
And The Jerk, Steve Martin stuff was great too.
The Jerk.
God damn it.
What else have we watched? We've watched a few Mel Brooks films. Some of them are a little too sexual.
Yeah.
I'm just like, not quite yet.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet. But yeah, John Hughes is awesome.
You know what's crazy is that in my lifetime, I've watched comedy change. Like you could do racial material a decade ago, and now it's just not funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened to Take My Wife, Please. You know, like, and then people are just kind of like, oh, wait, why are you doing that? That's racist.
Yeah.
It used to be funny. Like you could, I don't know why, but you could make a racial joke. But now even when I hear them, I'm not like turned on by it. I'm more like, meh. Like I get bummed when I hear racial stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Weird.
I hadn't thought about
Society
that.
changed.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to go home and relieve my husband from taking care of our 2 children. I told him he's on dinner duty, and he did not respond well.
Uh-oh.
I go, hey, do you think you could think of a dinner plan for us? Okay. And when he goes, okay, I know that's a fuck you.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. He was just hoping to sit around and watch Toy Story with the kids.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too.
Stay safe.
You too.
And I'm sure we'll do this again. And to everybody at home, until next time, stay cool, moms. Boops.
Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's